Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to Origami Dog's run of Case of Quad. We've not died in a while, isn't that great? Anyway, we're going to be going ahead to read all these books again because I am a glutton for punishment, aren't I? Go ahead and see this. Your quickness score is 0. Thusly, all stithard espers leave off at their leisure. Within the Cassafessence, the muse who rouses their hearts. It is most well known for its beauty is enhanced, and the difference between the two feelers of this spider. All of its faults aside, it is a brilliant butterfly. How far missile attack, the following morning, it awoke with the corpse of a cybernetic implant. The corpse of a cybernetic implant? What? Goodbye. What a change of scene from coast to country or from town to hillside may help much the depressed in body and mind. This has been decorated and dressed as part of the cross and night of the free seer. Worship at the hip, knee, and ankle joints, and the diligence of the latter not being in motion. The wind has blown from the weight of your physical mutations are static. Your base speed is 100. The greatest number was 323 drops per square inch per second. The maximum dust, whereas there is a resistance called friction, the moving body loses its rate of motion. This will presently be brought to rest upon its torso. There is a tree, and only the nearest hill can be deadly at a very close range, but is very commendable. Experimentally, ether waves of all espers indentured against their wills to the west, producing in a thick wax paper and plastic shell. When in winter, the windows are not liquids. Copolymers decide what you are. Bose-Einstein condensates are too unruly. There were 10 times as many of these things, for we are but penurious moisture farmers. Your ego score hurts the potency of your vision. That's not true at all, by the way. Bring your sketties to bear on Maidencombe. Only Altho, Q-Girl, and I was in truth a river at the signal's contents. At Axel Cattle's defense, Polysago probably should have stowed its shears before it chose to berate the poor hunter. This town lies a humanoid who'd have never been seen. Axes have penetration values equal to the moon with more sober light, charms us to a limited number of forms to fool its prey, though no one dares mention it lest they draw the divide between mammals and non-mammals, but the front clouds were still gray. We are now assured that the waves which constitute light and smells faintly of ancient dried grapes, but strange to say, there is a heavy weapon. The effect in making the water have a penetration value is a very few hours. After the sacred joining, as recounted by Shekinah the Father to the west, producing in a direction, you must dash forward towards the mimic as it made to me. My protege, Q-Girl, has designed a climber for the fallen branch of a stinking robe, flesh smears over the black-mounted slattered rack. Quetzal, I do, brave friend. In the case of the sodium dust, the air clears, and at King Airlock, in one of the sky overhead, a gradual change can be seen, then the limit of the universe. This doctrine of carnage actually served Utut well for several weeks, entreating the kings themselves, who in the northwest quadrant, the winds from the sap that weep nearby, to attack something else, such as mail crafted from the dust particles. A filled circle icon over your target indicates that your weapon will usually penetrate with ease. Oth's host rode westward, and his father before him roused his countrymen and set out to experiment with the ruins of the forgotten past. Now, though, it was coming from the braided frame of tendons and muscles rotting in putrid black blood. The conclusion come to is that there is little we can but fathom the civilizations of the Cassafessence into edifices fit for inhabitants by mortal folk. I sunder the mind of a canyon dweller. Wisterwort averred that the history would judge him kindly, and it leaves in its entirety, rendering the patient is rendered useless. Above the clutches of shale, hint at the very least, make yourself useful and bring me a great magma crab. There are sublime reliefs depicting our most cherished occasions. The bending downwards of the signal interrupts the incandescent stillness. Here Mammon, their beneficent father, he who taught folks to gather in greater numbers among the true-blooded, they long held a secret of their own. The transparency of the storm commenced, and the 60,000 dust particles to the air. They claimed descendancy from Rowan Godfear, the brother of a god. So it was likely explored by the light of auroras absorbed eons ago. Open sea air contains about 1 germ in 2 cubic feet. Have them send delegates eastward. They recess towards Whitecomb at the flaunting of these volumes. Are you mad? You think I would keep a tally of every hue of the forest begets? Azure, Chantereuse, indigo, carnelian, litter the desert. Astronomical observations show that the ether offered resistance. It would continue to move with less velocity. I shelter myself under the great sculptors. Okay, let's go ahead and take this book and read the last one here. Okay. Gerstlings have not seemed to suffer any retardation for their children's return to the metamorphic Numen. Though the tyrants of Oth, to the falconry I learned to hunt and laugh and dream. Since you returned from Bethesda, you have no doubt wondered at the dew point. You are skilled at butchering corpses. At the Lake of Lucerne there is a heavy weapon, having suffered the months-long trade blockage of the enormous number of atoms. The test of the Northern Sunderleaves from Hyreth Hall. The P.S. Rowan, I broke away from danger. Speak nothing of that for Tundra. I'm Ural, Chandler, and a tattered crimson headdress hangs from one of several vertical vents cut from a precious cerulean marble. O sovereign fathers, I tremble before your glory. If the Esper is the _4glow_, I await your return. Gas is too hot, no Jasper. Frivolous Lies, being the foremost catalogue of humanoid kings by the very least, make yourself useful and bring me a few seconds. Missile weapons have a static penetration values equal to your hands. The present rate of bone and chitin, the carpus covers a majority of the signal, interrupts the incandescent stillness. Yes, despiteful, take this key and follow the coral path, that which distinguishes the atom from the viridian plant called a water vine. There is. Fortunately, Mammon will likely have several goat folk under his reign than any of his twin swords, Castellanard and Pollux. Raising through the bowls of even the red had a sameness about it. Peculiarity, support for the ion lathe, a trice retro-threaded M-band, and the monastery houses 2 hollowed artifacts of the handheld box. It was even now, then, so new to some that it asked the rodent if it were without pores, but if sugar or salt to be put into it. Either will be here or there, moving fast or slow, but its atomic form persists. Weapons may modify other statistics. Ook at a shoal of eels swimming about. He ruled the Espers until his death in 18 pp. You can begin with certain powers without having the associated skills if your castle or calling has granted you those powers. Once a year, one member of the Rothschild Empire. That which distinguishes the atom from the promise of these words. Press F2 to switch key sets. A new Esper is chosen by the Free Seer and invited us to join the Freemen, while many others remained in Perth. A few left the freeholds of true folk remained stalwart in their assertions and ultimately unreliable. The period's dearth of coal will make a melee attack against a target. The following few days, the tongue tissue begins to show signs of condensing the vapor. It is condensed from the ghost of fuming God Sea on the other. No Jasper, Frivolous Lies, being the foremost catalogue of strange civilizations beyond the pathogen, muscles bulging in grotesque asymmetry, skin both gnashed and scaled, teeth filed into fangs, quivering pupils dilated into western bluffs of cliff cloths. You begin with a simple filter that provides good protection against dangerous gas emissions. Earth was quickened for our world, and Ut the boorish slaughtered the first library of Quad, Trukin in the course of the creatures. He sought a treaty with the earth warmed. A primitive people emerged from the the center of all of the air clears, and at last Ben Ledi, with about 25 miles distant, all in the case of an albino ape. The natives believe that they belong to a great cave Golgotha north of a Galopad, is indistinguishable from a distant reef. So are they saying 25 miles distance from Golgotha is something? There's supposed to be hidden messages in these words here, but I don't quite understand them. I haven't really seen something quite as obvious yet. Characters with multiple limbs may make additional attacks beyond this, along with the ribbon of stars and the canticle's chromatic. Stithing is the name given by fungi who crossed Moghari at the Cyclopean lathe in an olive green cloth. There, the spindle with the Zir Asphondalates in tow and crowned himself Earl of Almorpork. Porch, not pork. Okay. Born by Haram, son of Morshur, who dashed upon it, the dry air of the most noble order of the recuperative power of the period survives. We note that the remotest visible stars are so very small that they evaporate instantly when they reach a slight coloring all along the floor. In a dirty town, the rain will bring an overlay with additional information about the same humidity. I am the paper jackets of the Casafessence into edifices fit for the inhabitants by mortal folk. Acquainted with commonly called, Coppola formulated a conjecture on the amount of matter in the Hall of Isner with a pole ring. Much of this record draws upon the good hearts. Webs everywhere. It appears too deeply to safely descend. To ply with silver hollows, a spry adventurer's dream. Don't heed the tale of every planet is unalterable in the scriptorium, and I glimpse the importance of a beast than a normal pygmy. I don't see a whole lot here. Return to Gritgate and speak to Barathrum. Little attention has been determined, and is thus in marked contrast with any portion of either, for the Ion Lathe, a thrice retrofitted M-band, decipher the first medium-sized or larger object along the ice-capped Aeschylus. Now hand over the bones are fused together at the labyrinth beneath them. Return the amaranthine prism to Warden Indrix. Within each goat, a man. But don't talk with that man goat, you listen to him. This cooling made the dust particles in the atmosphere, and only the red rays passed the unarrested. Okay, well, let's get that book, and whew, try not to die. Okay, so we discovered this ruin, got a pretty cool... Come back here, you. Come back here. Stop moving diagonally, you jerk. Take that. Got him. There we go. Freeze miner. That's not good. That would have actually hurt a lot. Okay. Oh, hello, slime. No thanks. Not dealing a whole lot of damage to him. It's because my strength is not very. My strength is not very high. I thought short swords use dexterity, though. Speaking of dexterity and whatnot, let's take a look at what my skills currently are at. 16 ego, and I have 1 point... No, I don't. I have mutation points, though. Let's go ahead and invest in beguiling again, because you know what? I need to make sure that's on top of that kind of thing. And regeneration, of course. Regeneration is very good. You know, I also have skill points, which you can use for... I don't know what you can use for. We have custom to folklore, we have pistol. You could be able to sling and run, actually. Yeah. Let's do that. Akimbo is very expensive in terms of ammo, so we'll worry about that later. Deploy Tinker 1. I do not have enough points for Tinker 2, though I do have the intelligence for it. Reverse Engineer is very nice. Unfortunately, I don't have the points for it just yet. I can make Camp. Mind's Compass. Doubles the chance of regaining your bearings when you are lost. Reduces the chance of getting lost by about 15%. That is actually pretty... Oh, I need to pay for that, don't I? It would be kind of nice to actually have this stuff here. Acrobatics. Do I want to buy any of these other abilities here? Self-discipline. What's this do? Meditate. When meditating, you regenerate at faster... Okay, so I don't really care about this one in particular. Hunger and no, so I can just hunger less. That's pretty nice. Tactics. Hurdle. Receive no penalty to your dodge value when you sprint. Okay. Juke's pretty cool. They swap square. Yeah, that's pretty nice. I also have the agility to do it. But at the same time, I don't have a lot of... You know, let's go ahead and buy Hurdle. Because, yes, there we go. Nice. Persuasion. I don't have enough ego to do this. And to get proselytized, I need 23 ego, which is quite a lot. Yeah, just instantly cure any bleeding effects. Each round you spend healing and regain 5% of your max HP. This is cancelled. You may heal for up to 5 turns. Ah. So this could be very useful in the future if I'm really hurt. However, not being hurt in the first place is pretty good. Being able to swim would be very nice too. However, our toughness is not very high. However, being able to shake off all those abilities would be kind of nice too. But I do kind of want to hold on for Tinkering 2, just so I can learn some of the other abilities, and, you know, that kind of stuff. Wayfaring. I do want to eventually buy this. Let's go ahead and buy it now. There we go, boom. We're going to be doing a lot more fast travel these days, once we, you know, escape the rather simple life of the marshlands. However, you don't really want to miss out on anything valuable in the marshland. Let that lair we encountered last time, well, not last time, but a little while ago, was very valuable to find in our quest to become, you know, loved by all factions. Well, all possible factions. There are actually some factions you can't become loved by due to their... Whoa, that's a lot of slimes. Your base asset resist score is 0. You want to get to the cybernetics rack over there, but it's going to be kind of a slog. Hopefully don't die in the process. Okay, so let's just go ahead and destroy this, I guess. I wish I could fly. Might be starving to death, actually. At this rate. I should be able to destroy this pretty easily, but dang. Why am I attacking with my glow sphere? Oh, you're kidding me. Okay, okay. Remove. Sword. Glow sphere. Okay, attack. That's way better. Famished, huh? Well, I guess I'm just gonna have to find a corpse and shove it in my face. There's one over there. It's a glowfish corpse. Let's go ahead and get it. And it's sappy and wet, but oh well. Clean first. You know what? Never mind. Actually, no, yeah, let's clean from this. Let's use a dram from the salt or sugar area. There we go. Go ahead and clean that. Inventory. Glowfish corpse. Go ahead and eat. Ah, much better. Okay. Now I can walk over here and keep attacking this pile of rubble. Which is... How damage is it? It's fine. Well, darn. Die! Honestly, why am I bothering with this? I can just, like, break the wall instead, right? This is Brimstock wall. There we go. I'll just break the wall. Oh, what? Is this books? Gut and Swilt Wine from Gildan. Okay. Oh boy, this is going to be quite the reading segment, huh? Your temperature is a brain disorder characterized by an increased number of drops falling per second, varied greatly in winds from different directions, by filling the mouth with smoke and pursing the lips as if upon some hidden but vital vertex of the lowly plants and clay earth. The Sunderlees are a fellowship of trees, vines, shrubs, weeds, flowers, herbs, cacti, and algae. Most sort of implement from battle, from shoulder-mounted cannons to needle-pointed vibroblades. Did Mad Imperium truly? Uri glanced over his sweaty brow. How far? A missile attack. Press F to aim your weapon, then press F again to fire. Sure, I dabble in other statues of matter. Indubitably, for I've proclaimed it so. There was injected an enormous quantity of fine dust, which is spread over the scattering of the tyrants. Though no fixed conclusion are yet established about the area. When I'm done assembling the weird wire conduit, you'll be able to win the throne and inaugurate the first and only plant dynasty in Quad's history. Toward Amaranth. O deathless city, whence my cloven-hooved children dream themselves into the salty soil in search of moisture. Dream themselves? Okay. Though I sit near a stream of primordial amber, this is a village nearby to prosper from the layers of their variation in number. Who knows? I've wondered it myself. I am his servant, but a cub, a nestling, when my kin and broader at the labyrinths beneath them. Your movement speed is 100. Sure, I dabble in other words. The atmosphere arrests the sun's heat, and the first becomes cool, the irises of its face. There is no paltry change. It is the belief of some that nurture is the most high. Thy argent father and me press tab to trade with him. With a shell no larger than the other half dusty. The Barthamites have programmed several wageroids to guard it with a decorative slip. As I have hoped, disciple, indeed I am. The process of decay in clouds takes place in various ways, exhibit characteristics phenomena which have never been seen. The P.S. Rowans broke away from the clan Soder on account of a beggared gardener swore a vengeful oath in the cavern called Gritgate from its center. Oh, astronomical observations show that the Ether, as a god by the light of day, was extinguished. Very well, you must know, beware them, for while they despise all mutants, they harbor a special malice for Baratharm. Now, though, it is likely exported by the Dromance. The years have passed since we have last in contact, but it looks ready to drop onto all fours. Their motivations for leaving Perth were never well understood. It is rock hard. Space, we know, is of 3 cadavers in a squat clay pot on the summit of the year would have been riveted. While a sizable segment of Atherreach's population chose not to disabuse them, Abram's call to arm rallied his kinsmen, and under his reign then any of them were when spread on the stilt grounds. They come and go as they have the Elder's ire. There are some 70 different kinds of mechanical motions into heat. It appears you must completely identify the artifact. Pieces of armor is forged from massive slabs of fullerite. Obviously, they are highly penetrating. Secondly, they take care to stay out of excitement. If you are against physical attacks that hit you, he took Falkirk for his hut to the eye, which its tendrils yowl and exhibits them to be severed. It is interesting to notice interference phenomena. The evidence for this comes to us clear air and thick haze. The record is even scarcer than usual due to the dust in the depths of Quad. Later, though, I recognize the figure of the Free City and the cooldowns of activate abilities on the Cyclopean Lathe in ages past. Peculiarly, I support from the reluctant king. His second reign proved to be denser in the wall are fossils of the afflictions I've encountered in my skull even then. It is tempting to draw the attention requires to propel it fast. A large amount of damage this weapon bestows a +4 bonus to attacks you make. With the Scrambler, you'll have no other meaning than the other half dusty. You are skilled at wilderness survival. Clank puffs on you. The reason why the glass covering the box hangs a variety of properties. Now, though, it was fired in the southwestern corner of Joppa. Stiffening is usually reserved as punishment for high crimes such as swords, daggers, axes, and clubs. But the eater's into its fold. Travel north to the temporal paladins. The stoic visage of this sly fish is lined with wicked blade-like teeth. Staircases appear magenta, friendly creatures appear red, chests appear yellow, items appear white. You would be permanent structures with a pull ring. Some birds breathe fire. That's true. There is a pole of fiberglass wrapped in thin air. Shekinah leveled the hills and capped them with chromatic domes. Powers often grant you activate abilities. The air is about its new position. Rusted wells and rusted spires. For instance, in 837 pp, Weisterwort mandated that humanoid babes were to be about 1 gerb 2 cubic feet. These are due to dust in the home kiln of thousands of miles in a file rack and alembic. I left off at a being named Mirthful in the Slug's tract are like waves frozen in place. In beauty there is power, you know. Nay, in the Great Salt Sea our home was ready. As a matter of convention, I date all events according to their fall. I lived to serve the Free Seer, ambled up to my discarded vest, but stopped. After Ben Letty be half-hazed, then the limit of visibility also increases. The people of Quad, though the particles overhead became transparently lit red, as they call themselves, are an order of business upon taking the throne and inaugurate the first 5 rounds. After imbibing, you gain a +2 penetration bonus to his pallet-like things. A bullet shot into the winter of 833 pp and bestowed the glass covering the box with a frothing film. All its faults aside, it's a request of you, for it's a brilliant butterfly. An ordinary man would breathe their 36 microorganisms every minute. This instrument consists of the other. Off, founded by Clan Sotor on the account of a stretchy black fabric that sticks to your hands. I sing of the air because its point is that the dust particles in the pistol's chassis. The higher your score, the more distasteful as it had in the sky tough together with the silk thread. Woo! Indeed, boy, though I have heard it told all kings are mad. Penetration value and dodge value, and then the red pillar extended, curved over, and formed a perfect arc over the hermit's body. It is possible to begin with several of the Isakari nomad stands shrouded in robes tattered and sun-bleached. So does the written wisdom of Eschelstad II. High priest is persuasive, but not half as persuasive as the gluttonous barons counted 7 amongst their clans, so had become much colder, and I immediately knew my own treachery. You see, nestling in the colonized region, I wept, and then I tore the hair from his head and torso of its hut. Aitken devoted 18 months to compare them. The angler himself spurned the offer, but realizing the importance it held for the seafaring Aiders. There are 2 red eyes like dying suns. It is very much destroyed by the easy walking exercise on the doorstep of Ibn Nudur, obliterated by the Dromads. It is dusk. Okay, we're going to get that. Open this door, and then be attacked by a bunch of slimes. There. Now we're going to freeze all the slimes, like so, and fight. There we go. The slimes are now dead. We can walk through, and we can loot this for its weird artifact and examine it. It's an optical techno scanner. Let's go ahead and grab that. Oh boy. And from there, we can go ahead and make our way back to whatever this is. Daofobo the Noble Snapshot Gunslinger. Okay, so we want to go... current location, we want to go right and then down. Hopefully we don't encounter the wrong enemies. There we go. Not bad, not bad. I don't see much in the way of dangers. I believe we are in a new Parasang, as it's called. Though I'm not certain of that case. Perhaps not. I think we might be actually farther down. Either case, we're now in daylight, so we can hopefully... Let's see, where are we now? We are in the right area. Current location. Not going to go anywhere. I can't just fast travel to the lair, but I'd rather not. I don't believe beguiling has a maximum distance, by the way. We can probably... The Snapjaw we beguiled, the Darfur, or whatever her name is, I think it's her anyway, is probably still beguiled under our... Yes, there we go. Gunsmith has schematics drafter, so they actually restocked their inventory, huh? That's not great. However, we don't really care too much. We're actually not after the scribes in the lower areas, which might have and might not have restocked their inventory. Either way, it's good to check. Yes. Make our way down. There we go. They'll actually only restock once you see them, I think. So, okay, no, so he still has his stuff. Good. We can now go down to the next floor and try and get our hands on the last few pages from the scribe here. There we go. Let's begin trade. Where's the page? There it is. Good. Okay, we can now trade our expensive implants. Oh, these implants are not as powerful or expensive as I thought they were. Oh well. What else can I sell? I have an agate gemstone. Let's go ahead and trade that and pay 1 dram in water. Boom. We're good. Okay. Well, that was successful. Let's go ahead and leave. Boom. Boom. And we'll come back in several days' time in order to try and capitalize on what the scribes will probably have. But in the meantime, we're actually going to try and search out another lair. Dogs. We can make friends with dogs again. Look at that. Okay, we can also, of course, look at the book, of course. Nary a scholar knows who composes the Annals of Quod or when the chronicling began, but the Quantivists devised a way to entangle their own pages with the official ledger, allowing them to insert themselves into history in a favorable light. Few such pages remain. Luckily for us, we have... Boom! On the 8th of Simond Utz, origami became admired by dogs for making them feel welcomed at a supper feast. Look at that. Cool, huh? Now loved by dogs. Great. Unspecified. We can actually choose whichever one we want to from that one. It's great, but, you know, still not quite as valuable, easy to get my hands on as the other random ones. We're now loved by dogs, which means that dogs will come to our aid whenever we're in fight. Dogs are actually the default classes that races that start friendly with you, so you'll almost never be in a fight with a dog. However, they also are now love our faction, or us anyway, meaning they'll actually come to our aid in battle if we are attacked by something that they don't like, something else. Anything that we fight, they'll actually fight with us, which is great. And holy crap, I'm actually already out of time. I can believe it. Well, we're gonna try and encounter more things in the wild over here. But in the meantime, I guess let's call that a day. And see you guys next time, huh? We're gonna dig around the wild a little bit more next time. Bye-bye!